Even from a distance, the nucleus stands out because it houses the cell's genetic information. Nearly every instruction required for growth, development, metabolism, and reproduction is stored within this remarkable organelle. Our journey through the cytoplasm has brought us to the edge of the nucleus. In the next section, we'll pass through the nuclear envelope and explore the extraordinary world of DNA, chromosomes, and genetic information stored inside every cell. We've now arrived at one of the most important structures inside the cell, the nucleus. Often referred to as the control center of the cell, it stores the genetic information that guides nearly every cellular activity. Unlike most other organelles, the nucleus is enclosed by a specialized double membrane known as the nuclear envelope. This protective barrier separates the genetic material from the rest of the cytoplasm. The nuclear envelope is much more than a protective covering. It carefully regulates communication between the nucleus and the cytoplasm, ensuring that genetic information remains secure while allowing essential molecules to move in and out. As we move closer, tiny openings begin to appear across the surface of the nuclear envelope. These are nuclear pores, highly sophisticated gateways that control molecular traffic between the nucleus and the rest of the cell. Every messenger RNA molecule, regulatory protein, and many other important cellular components pass through these pores. Rather than simple holes, they function as intelligent molecular checkpoints. We're now approaching one of these nuclear pores. Just as we entered the cell through a membrane protein, we'll now enter the nucleus through one of these carefully regulated transport channels. As we pass through the nuclear pore, we're crossing another major biological boundary. We've now entered the protected environment where the cell's complete genetic blueprint is stored. Inside the nucleus, notice that this space is very different from the surrounding cytoplasm. Instead of transport networks and organelles, the interior is dominated by an intricate organization of genetic material. Surrounding us are long, thread-like structures known as chromatin. At first glance, they may appear disorganized, but this arrangement allows the cell to efficiently store, access, and regulate its genetic information. Chromatin is composed of DNA wrapped around specialized proteins called histones. This packaging allows nearly 2 meters of DNA to fit inside a nucleus that measures only a few micrometers in diameter. This remarkable level of organization enables the cell to protect its DNA while still allowing specific regions to become accessible whenever particular genes need to be expressed. As we continue deeper into the nucleus, another prominent structure comes into view, the nucleolus. Unlike other organelles, it is not surrounded by a membrane, but forms naturally within the nucleus. The nucleolus is responsible for producing ribosomal RNA and assembling ribosomal subunits, which will later leave the nucleus to participate in protein synthesis in the cytoplasm. Although it occupies only a small region of the nucleolus plays a critical role in maintaining the cell's ability to manufacture proteins continuously. Around us, chromatin fibers extend throughout the nucleus like an enormous biological library. Each region contains specific genes that can be activated or silenced depending on the needs of the cell. At this moment, every cell in your body contains essentially the same DNA. What makes a neuron different from a muscle cell or a liver cell is not different DNA, but which genes are actively being expressed. As our camera moves even closer, the individual chromatin fibers begin to reveal greater structural detail. We are approaching the very molecules that carry the instructions for life itself. Hidden within these chromatin fibers is DNA, the molecule that stores hereditary information and directs everything from cell growth and metabolism to development and reproduction. In the next stage of our journey, we'll move beyond the nucleus itself and begin exploring DNA in extraordinary detail. We'll discover how genes are organized, how chromosomes form, and how genetic information is read by the cell. Our journey to the nucleus has brought us to the source of every cellular instruction. In the next chapter, we'll dive deeper into the molecular world of DNA, chromosomes, genes, and the remarkable processes that transform genetic information into the molecules that sustain life.